Hey everyone, my name is Alex. Today I am going to talk to you about my trend of homelessness and the rising population of that, or rising trend of that. So, as I said, my selected trend, and as you could figure out, is based on the homeless population here in Portland metro area. And when I say metro, I mean Vancouver, Beaverton, Clackamas, Estacada, Milwaukee, Oregon City, Troutdale, Tualatin, Tigard, all those areas, and downtown, of course, because that's where a lot of our population resides in. And I find this to be so passionate in my aspect because I've lived here for my whole life. I've lived in Portland my whole life for 25 years. And the growth rate has been so immense that it really takes an interest of mine, and my compassion side of things, and my fire of wanting to help others is, again, compassion, those lie together. It really narrows down to this sort of topic. And you'll figure out why in a little bit in the future slides. So we'll see here that our homeless population is actually second highest for having unsheltered people. We're obviously not the highest population out there, but we do have a high unsheltered population. And so why is this? Why can't we have shelter? Why can't we provide the resources to people? What's going on there? What are we missing? What is this state missing that other states are able to provide to others? Because if we see New York, they have a high homeless population, but their unsheltered population is a lot lower than ours. And to me, that's crazy. Even Massachusetts, their rate is a lot higher, but their unsheltered rate is so tremendously low. So what are we doing, and how can we fix this problem, or sort of start to fix this problem? So this is a little video I watched and wanted to share with you guys about sort of the homeless population, kind of what the surroundings of it are, what the definitions or meanings of why people would be homeless, or the backgrounds of them, because it's not just people we think that are down on their luck. There's so many other reasons why. And what can we do to push people up and get them into a point of their lives where they once were or could be, to their highest potential? And again, where are we lacking as a state to provide that for others? So a little history of mine for you all. I didn't know I wanted to work in healthcare, and then at 19 years old, I decided that was my lifelong goal, unrecognized goal. And so I became a CNA at 20 and started working in the healthcare field. Not until I was 21 did I start working in a hospital setting. But that is where my true experience with patients who are homeless, that's where it started. And that was out in Troutdale at Legacy Mount Hood. I was working on the medical unit, and the amount of homeless people that would come in for care and end up getting discharged out onto the streets again without getting the after discharge care that they needed, or the medications that they needed, they wouldn't receive those as people who weren't homeless would, because of, first of all, they didn't have a home address to get anything started for themselves, and they didn't have the means or the funds to receive all of that stuff that they needed. And it could just be basic, like receiving a boot for your leg to get, or for your foot to relieve the pressure off of a sore. Something not small that they needed in order to better their health, they were not able to get that. And so, again, where do we go from here? So my current place of employment is at Providence, and it's sort of in a very local area between downtown and those other areas that I listed. And I am no longer a CNA, but I work in on the administration side of things. And I did a couple of shifts in the emergency department, and they were overnight shifts. And I was able to witness things that I didn't ever think I would have to. And it was people coming in pretending like they needed the care so that they would be able to sleep in our emergency department after getting discharged. And the reason that I say that so dramatically is because why is it that we don't have enough shelters or enough housing for homeless people that they have to resort to an emergency room filled with germs and sickness because they have nowhere else, because homeless people have nowhere else to go? Why is that the case? And so it's crazy because, you know, we don't have those resources in this state. And so with my experience with this class and kind of using my knowledge and talking to my manager, my mind kind of got rolling on ideas and thoughts on this sort of topic or subject. But we'll get back to that. So recently, and again, here's another little story for you. I had my first experience with a homeless family. And what I have learned about this family is that they were using an empty conference room of ours in order to sleep. And that was it, and kind of keep their belongings. And this was for about 2 months. And with this, it was because parents weren't working or, you know, didn't have enough money to put them up in a motel room or a hotel room or get an apartment. And these kids were about 3 years old. They're twins, which was very eye-opening to me because I have a nephew that age who is not in the same situation, and it broke my heart. And again, where is our support? Where is our references? Where is the means to help these people get where they need to get in order to get their lives back on track? So our hospital, again, what we do for homeless people, or what we are able to do and are, you know, without sort of getting in trouble or breaking the law or whatever, is we can provide food, blankets, and water. And not just for that family, but for everyone that comes in and is, you know, sleeping. And by food, I don't mean what we see in this picture here. I mean snacks and cookies, like cracker snacks or pretzels or, you know, cookies, like I said. And water, yes, water is easy to provide. It. You can provide water to anybody. But those aren't the nutritious foods that people need to be getting in order to get their health back in the right direction. And then the blankets that we have, they work great for a short time for someone who's cold, but it's not something substantial in order to get a good night's sleep or a good night rest. So with our first paper that we did for this class, you know, going into a facility or going into somewhere as a leader and addressing a reform issue, mine was homelessness again. And my thoughts on this, and again, like I said, I talked to my manager, and she kind of got my mind rolling on this. My thoughts were to open up a unit that doesn't stay open all day long or isn't open at night. So, for example, my hospital that I work at, our wound care clinic does not stay open after 5. Allowing people or homeless people to come in and use those empty beds. And this would provide showers, because there are showers and restrooms there for these people in order to get the hygiene care that they need, as well as sleeping in a bed. And sleep deprivation is proven to sort of change someone's way of life. So this would also provide that. And then also our hospital does a teaching kitchen for residents. So our residents are allowed to learn how to cook. The food that the residents are baking or cooking there, we could provide that to the homeless people who are using our units. So with this, the strengths, not only from this class, but also experience in life, the 3 most significant to me are willpower, compassion, and experience. My willpower and compassion to help others is very strong, especially after I started working in the healthcare field. And then also my experience. Like I said, I've worked all over, from nursing homes to working as a CNA and now working in administration. But the things that I've seen, I feel like I can really make a difference or start a movement that could be life-changing for someone. And so that's kind of where I'm going with this. Thank you all for listening. I hope I didn't talk too much or bore you all, but I hope this can be something that's changing for all.